In today's video, I wanted to share something I got curious about recently, one of my important memories about a thing I owned in the past. It's about my very first mobile phone, which is Nokia C5. It was 2011 when I bought this phone, and I would say it was a cool phone which I used until 2013 when it finally broke down and I had to buy a new phone. The phone in this photo is the same one which I owned back then. Quite nostalgic. Let me tell you a bit about Nokia C5. It was a decent phone which had Symbian OS, which was a popular operating system in most Nokia phones. It came with a 3.2 megapixels camera, which was a slightly lesser resolution back then. It also came with OVI maps and had applications like Facebook, MySpace, YouTube, and many more social apps. It had a music and video player, a photo editor, and also a video editor which was quite good. I remember editing one video and adding title frame and also background music to it. It had text to speech for SMS, which was quite funny and entertaining, especially when I received messages from my friends which were typed in English but the words were in Hindi. One could also play games like Bounce, which was fun. There were lots of other features, and this list can go on. But what I got curious about is that what processor did my phone had? Back then, I didn't care about the technical specifications much and only was concerned about basic features like making phone calls, sending SMS, playing games, capturing photos and videos, and so on. But now I know after some research that the processor used in my phone was ARM. To be specific, it was a 600 MHz 32-bit ARM11 processor which was based on ARM v6 architecture. 600 MHz means that it could run 600 million cycles per second. So if all instructions consume 2 cycles, it could execute 300 million instructions per second. Today the processors can have clock frequency of 3 GHz. Just imagine how powerful today's processors are. 32-bit means the registers, which are the fastest memory units, are of size 32 bits or 4 bytes. Today most Android phones run on ARM processors which are based on ARM v7, ARM v8 architectures and so on. And not just Android, but Apple also uses ARM in iPhones and also in their M1 laptops. So what is ARM? ARM is a family of RISC processors. In fact, ARM was formerly known as Advanced RISC Machines. What is RISC? RISC is Reduced Instruction Set Computer. RISC is often seen in contrast with CISC or Complex Instruction Set Computer. One example of CISC processors is x86 by Intel. So how do they differ? The difference is in the amount of work which is done by each instruction in the instruction sets. For instance, if we want to multiply two numbers, RISC may require separate instructions for loading the operands, performing the multiplication, and storing the result back. CISC can, however, do all these operations using a single instruction. The goal of RISC was to increase the speed of execution of instructions, which could help to enhance the instruction pipeline. Since the work done by each instruction is less, it gets processed quickly and the processor can shift its focus on processing the next instruction. This ultimately leads to an increase in processor throughput. Thank you. Hope you found that entertaining and informational. Which was your first phone? Let me know in the comments.